Hi, welcome to another episode of Interior Design with Rae, bringing you tips and tutorials for your home renovation journey. So today I'm going to show you the completed carpentry works and design of this resale HDB apartment in Pandan Gardens. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay, so right now I'm at the corridor area. So as mentioned in my previous video, this corridor unit was bought over by the previous owner, so my clients bought over as it is. But of course I proposed a different flooring, and they had this window change to a bifolding type. This one used to be a wall and a window, but the wall was already removed by the time my client bought this space. And this entrance was also used to be a window and a wall. The main entrance was actually here, but it's been taken up by a storage cabinet. So as you can see, my painter is touching up the entire place right now. So near the main entrance there's this storage cabinet, and you can see some structure beam running across here and here. So all these you can't touch it. So at the main entrance area, I've converted into a storage cabinet, okay, with very deep storage. So once you step up, this is not the original step. Okay, the original step used to be here, so it has been removed, and then this is a step up to the living area. So at the living area, I've designed a feature wall for the TV and some storage for the setup boxes. There's also a place where you can keep the modem, okay, because the Netlink truss terminal is hidden inside here with a double power socket. And to control any gadget, right, this is a fluted glass panel. So fluted glass panel allows the remote signal to pass through. So your device will be putting on this glass shelf, and then the signal will pass through from here. Right, the reason you can see that I use the glass shelves, okay, there's actually 1, 2, 3. It's because if you use a plywood shelf, then from this view it will look very thick, and then it's grey color, so it doesn't really match with the fluted glass. So I thought this glass shelves was a better option. So over here there's also some more storage where I hide the DB, and of course not to forget the storage on top as well. Here, okay, also all these are using a magnetic tip-on door device. So the TV will be mounted over on this wall here. This is the grommet hole for the TV cable to go in and then drop down to the power point here. Okay, so there's a double, and of course you need to do a trench. So this trench actually is built behind the feature wall, and it goes sideways until here. So this one is for whoever is going to install the device for the HDMI cable. Okay, so you have a TV, then you might need to link up HDMI cable to any devices. So this one will go through here, this corner, and then go up and go through this grommet hole. So at this feature wall here, there is a flush fitted door to the bedroom. So if you see here, this panel is for the switches, so you can't open. This panel is for the wall light. Of course you can't enter through here. So this is the panel that goes into the master bedroom. So at this master bedroom, my client is going to buy off the bed set. What I've designed is to have a walk-in closet behind here, and then there's a simple standing dresser, some hanging clothes storage for daily wear. So this is the door towards the walk-in wardrobe. Okay, so at this side here, you can see that there's 2 rows of bedroom wardrobe, one side on the left and one on the right, and there is a ceiling fan. Okay, so this ceiling fan is the very small one. I think the size is about 34 to 36 inches. Okay, so it's right in the middle of this walk-in wardrobe. And just to take note, if you have a casement door like this, make sure that it doesn't hit the fan blade. So in this instance, you can see that if I had the swing doors, then it's going to hit, right? Because it's so near. So I've instructed my carpenter to do just sliding panel on top, right, for this two panel door, because they are just directly beside the fan. And also this two door, because it's actually quite near as well. Okay, so this one shouldn't have any issue. Okay, you can see, right? So it doesn't hit the blade. So take note that because when you have a full height built-in wardrobe like this, right, usually you need a lot of space in front for the light clearance or for a ceiling fan clearance. Okay, so this will be the dining area. The table is going to tuck against the peninsula counter, so it goes this way. And on top there's this pendant lamp. Okay, so this pendant lamp still can be shifted down a little bit, right? Depends on the preference of the homeowner. And once you step into the kitchen, on the right is straight away the dry pantry area. So at the dry pantry area, basically what you need is just a spotlight shining down and bright up the entire place. Of course, you can add in a power track, and there's some switches for the ovens. So over here is a pocket door. Okay, so you can push it in, and on top you can put your air fryer, and at the bottom it can be for rice cooker. And then of course there's this additional pull-out tray for additional tabletop space. So as you can see, the kitchen cabinet is very straightforward, quite simplified. The peninsula counter is over here, lots of storage at the bottom. The hob or the stove is here, followed by the hood on top. So this is the dish rack cabinet. So this is the bloom leaf way that can allow you to open in different angles. Okay, and then until finally it closes with soft closing. If you want to make your kitchen yard area more spacious, then usually what you can do is you don't put your washing machine here, right, because it will protrude out quite a lot. The best way is to actually put it underneath the countertop. But of course your washing machine has to be a front loaded washing machine. And if you can see there's this drainage pipe for the washing machine. And of course remember to do a grommet hole at the side here, and it will be plugged into the power source here, and also the water supply for the washing machine. So all this can be hidden inside this tall piping to save some space, and perhaps to make this area a bit neater. Your washing machine is going to take up almost until here, right? And then there's a little of gap here. So if you put your tap at the top, right, your washing machine might not be able to push the entire washing machine in. That's why I added the tap inside this tall cabinet. So on the kitchen top is a simple compact plus wood top, right? It has got this very nice wood grains that matches very well with the wood color laminate that I've proposed. So over at this corner cabinet, usually you don't know what to do because of the wasted space at the corner there. So what you can do is you can buy off the shelf this pull-out corner rack. Okay, right, you can put out like that. So all these are soft closing as well. Okay, let's take a look at the bathroom. So from my previous video, I've already explained how I partition, or why I partition this divider here. So the WC is the original location. This actually is the combined common and the master bathroom already. Okay, so you might be wondering why this bathroom is slightly bigger. That's because it's been combined. Okay, so I've made this into a shower area with also a divider and like a hand shampoo niche here. So this is the mirror storage cabinet, and at the bottom is a vanity with 2 pull-out drawers. Okay, so pull-out drawers, you definitely have to make a U shape like that to avoid the bottle trap. Okay, so over here, same thing. One thing I just want to mention is, right, if you find a geometrical tiles like this, everything has to centralize. So with this wall tiles with a diamond shape pattern in the middle, everything is centralized, including the tap, okay, and the overhead shower. Okay, so left and right, they are identical, split in the middle. Okay, thanks for watching this far. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel and watch all my other videos. I'll update you with the last part of this video very soon, after my clients have moved in. So I see you soon.